Not everybody. Not everybody. Why? Hello. Yeah. Okay. Difference between what? One of the key that
Leave the foot out.
I want to take where you get your attitude. And then you are there as I want to get good. What are the two things we can speak about? Number one, if it is the vanguard of your life, or rather, the vanguard of your true self. If the vanguard of your true self, your attitude will actually show who you are really are, who you really are. Remember the theme of this expression was who am I, right? So your attitude will actually show who you truly are. Number two, it is the root. Its fruit is inward, but its fruit is outward. The root of your attitude is what? Is internal. But the fruit produces is what? Outward. You know, at times you do some things actually to show what I will say, whether it's true or not. The attitude is inward is the root, but outward is the fruit. There's somebody you will slap now, as I slap Joy. This auditorium will come down. This auditorium will do what? Will come down. But there's somebody I will slap now, you turn around, there will be some special what? Surprise. What's going on here? Or you will smile and say, it is you, it is you. We smile, and that ends it. And that what? At every point in time, what is inside you, we cannot see, right? But what you are displaying is what we can see. And that is why the behavior, when you enter school, you'll be doing your own thing, your own way. You run through the program. And when you are leaving, they will write testimonial. How many of us know what is testimonial? How many of us have actually seen your own testimonial written for you? There was a day lately I was going through my documents. I saw my testimonial from my primary school. They will capture your attitude, your life, everything. Is it from your inside they saw it? No, it is your what? Display. Those who are fighting every day in school, the principal, the headmaster will say, this one fights all the time. What are we talking about? By the time we finish, you'll be able to tell yourself truly who you are. You will now know why you have not made much progress. Remember, I started by telling you that everything, absolute everything, God started with. Sorry? I can't see. Time? Okay, here. Oh, sorry. So, absolutely everything God started with God. So the first question you need to ask is, why am I here? Are you getting me? Why did God create you? In the morning, we are talking about the Creator God, right? And we believe that we are created by God, right? Created for nothing. Created for nothing. Why were you created? So, if we have known what actually our attitude are, a number of them, we don't have time to go into that. The question will be, where did you get your attitude from? Can anybody tell me now where exactly you thought you got your attitude from? Can anybody? Where the heck did you get your attitude from? I will mention a number of them. You now know where you got your own from. Because every of us, we know what we are displaying. Number one is your personality. That is who you are. What are the composition of God created you to be? There are some attitudes that from the day you were born, you were displaying them. Are you getting me? That is what the nature God has put in you. But again, there are certain things I need to, there's a caveat here. Because I've had some people who say that those who are practicing lesbianism and the gay, that God created them that way. That is the way they were created. Error. It's not true. God cannot create you to practice what he called abomination, right? But their personality will go a long way to show your attitude. For example, some people were created naturally to be an introvert. Are you getting it? Some people are created naturally to be what? An extrovert. You can see that there's a small baby you carry. As you are turning, he's following you. As you are laughing, he's laughing. And anything you are doing, he's repeating. That one will grow up to be what? An extrovert. If you, as you are talking, they are smiling, they are making noise, they are there. There are some people, there are children that if you cut them from morning till night, so they are there, they know they talk. If the only time they cry is when they are what? Hungry. And immediately you give them food, that's okay. That one will end up to be an what? An introvert. So your personality will show what the character, your attitude will be. Number two is environment. Number two is what? Environment. I will frank with you. They will say there are an environment you can't afford to train your children in. Hello? Hello? Yes. I remember when there was a day we were in classroom, I think when we were doing our MSc program, one guy behaved like that. Somebody said, I don't know, that's what he do. Don't you know, he's a barrack boy. He grew up in a barrack. Are you getting it? So they believe that your environment will go a long way to show the attitude you are going to put up ultimately. Okay? So you find out that there's no way you can detach the environment you are from what? From the attitude you are going to put up. Let's take an example. If you are always in the church environment, are you getting me? There's no way your attitude will not be that one of godly. Hey, there's no way you can be going to clubs. Huh? At the end of the day, you are not going to manifest the attitude of those in a club. You cannot take it away. Number three is expression of others, what you feel. Expression of others will also go a long way to present your attitude. If you are the kind of people that seek humans' approval, are you getting me? Peer pressure. They will tell you, oh, why would you be, are you a Jew guy? Why would you allow them to slap you and go free? No, you hit them back. Are you getting me? Then what it means that at every point in time, you'll be putting up that kind of attitude. Number four, self-image. How you see yourself. How you see yourself will also determine the kind of attitude you'll be putting up. What are the things you are exposed to? When you say people, don't watch this, don't listen to this music, don't do this, they thought that, okay, you are just trying to do something bad. No. things you are exposed to will go a long way to determine the attitude you are going to be putting up. I don't know how many of us saw the clip or video clip of a boy. They ask, what you want to do when you grow up? He said, I like killing human beings. I want to kill. I want to kill. That is what the child is what? Exposed to. And I can tell you, this child will go up and be what? And be killing. That's what was about it. He was, as a small boy, he doesn't know how to pretend. He has told you what he wants to be doing. I love killing. I just want to be killing. Association with peers, who you are with. One of the things we learned when we were growing up is that you tell me who your friend is. I'll do what? I'll tell you who you are. And another English we learned again is that birds of the same flock together. And the way I'm looking at it is this. Look. I always use the language, who are your mentors? Who are you learning from? Who are your role models? Because at the end of the day, this will go a long way to determine who you are going to be. There's no two ways about it. Then your life belief, your belief system. Some people will tell you that nothing is good and nothing is bad. It depends on who is involved. So if you believe that nothing is good and nothing is bad, what will happen? Everything goes. You can do everything. It doesn't matter because nothing is good and nothing is bad. These are some of the things that will shape your attitude as people. And again, your life choices. Your life choices. What do you want to be doing? If you are the kind of person that is always very careful to make your choice, certainly your attitude will be different. But if you are the type that believe that, no, you are careless in making your choices, it's also going to determine where you're going to be. Now, where attitude can make a difference. Are we together? Where attitude can do what? Make a difference. Where attitude cannot make a difference. That is what your attitude cannot do for you. Remember I told you that attitude is not everything, right? But it's a difference maker, right? Now, what your attitude cannot do for you, because if you want to put up the best of attitude, number one is that your attitude cannot substitute for competence. It cannot do what? Yes, it's either you are competent or you are not competent. Even you put up a very wonderful attitude, they say, wow, this is a good girl, but I wish he could do this. I wish you could do that. We would have kept him. He's a very good, a wonderful person, a good team player. But we need somebody who can do X, Y, Z. Unfortunately, he cannot do it. Well, we have to let him go. Attitude cannot substitute for competence. It's either you are good or you are not good. Number two, your attitude cannot substitute for experience. Yes. The knowledge and experience you gathered over years. Good attitude cannot do that. Going to try something, going to learn out something, attitude cannot be there for you. No. People can always recognize that you are a good personality, but hey, you don't have experience, you don't have experience. Number three, attitude cannot change the facts of life about you. For example, you do not, when you see 1 + 1 as for mathematics, you take to your heels. Are you getting me? You do not know how to communicate. You will not know a lot of things, but you cannot communicate. And they needed a facilitator, a teacher. Would they bring you? Even if you have all the wonderful attitude in the world, it does not change the fact that you are not there. Are you getting it? The next one is your attitude cannot substitute for personal growth. Personal growth. Some people immediately they finish educational pursuit. No life development again. They don't attend seminars. They don't attend workshops. They don't learn anything new. The growth training and development must be a continuous thing in your life. If you do not grow, you do not grow. Whether you want to be the best of human beings in this world, it cannot change the fact that you are not growing. And you know what? When we were in school, accounting is done by what? Hardcover ledger. Ledger what? In fact, when I prayed first after my service, the first place I worked, we have what? Hardcover ledger. You say, okay, we'll post into the ledger account. Today, those things we do in ledger account, nobody does it any longer. So if you have not gone to update yourself, you are going to be what they call what? Analog accountant. Today, we are no longer doing analog accounting. What are we doing? Digital accounting. So it's either you have the digital skills and you play, or you don't have it, you don't play. So attitude cannot take care of what? Personal growth. And finally, attitude does not stay automatically. Don Williams, in one of his songs, said, flowers do not grow in the gardens of stones. Attitude does not come automatically. It's something you build over time. So, my mom was born with that. No mommy will born you with attitude. You have to develop good attitude by behaving the right way and internalize it and become part of you. Are we together? But having said this, does it mean that there's no place attitude can be a game changer? No. Let's look at where your attitude, what your attitude can do for you. Number one, your attitude makes a difference when it comes to your approach to life. Like I said, in an office environment, your attitude will determine whether you're going to go far or not. You may be the best work person in the work environment, that you are wonderful, you have the skills, everything. But once you lack good manners, you do what? You're off. So your attitude can do what? Make a difference when it comes to your approach to life. The way, number two, it also matters when it comes to how you relate with people. Some people, when they see their appraiser comment, the Ogba will say, he lacks good interpersonal relationship. Case closed. Why? It's your attitude. So, but assuming people can say, she is top-notch when it comes to interpersonal relations. He or she is a good team player. He or she gets along with other people well. These are some of the attitude that will do what? And this is a goal-oriented personality. Are you getting it? These are some of the things the attitude can do what? Attitude can do for you. It also matters when it comes to how you face or manage challenges. There is nothing anybody can say that will tell you that there will not be challenges in your life. But how you manage the challenges, because what is what your attitude can help you do. If you are the type that knows that, look, once the heaven is falling, you do what? You are calm. They will always say, oh, this one is a calm personality. No matter what happens, he will always manage himself very well. Next is your attitude will also go a long way to be your difference maker in times when it matters most. When it matters most, it is your attitude that can save the day. Let me ask you. I remember one of those days during our attitude, our appraiser, they will say, ask Tammy, do you think if I am to hire again, do you think I can hire you? Hello? Hello? Can you listen to me now? If you are, for example, now let me talk to the younger people who are still in school. You are into youth program. Assuming we say we have disbanded all the youth members, we want to recruit again, want to pass through interview. Do you think we can hire you to be in the youth ministry? I'm not pointing at anybody. Are you getting it? That's the question. Do you think you can be inducted into the youth ministry? I remember there was a time pastor said, all quiet, what? Off. We want to do what? To start all over again. Are you sure you would have been inducted into the choir ministry? That's the question. That is some of the things attitude can do for you. But again, we need to go into some things, which is how to choose the right track. Yes, having known that attitude is not everything, but we also know that it's very, very important that you have good attitude. So how do you do it? Number one is take full responsibility for your attitude. Brian Tracy will tell you in the book he called Excuse. When you start having excuse for every of your bad behavior and you will blame people for all your failures, you can never get better. If you put up a wrong attitude, own up, take full responsibility, be man enough, be woman enough to say, guys, I fucked up here. I dropped the ball. I goofed. I gaffed. Please forgive me. I will do better tomorrow. That's what helps you to put up a better attitude. Because by so doing, you are now you are pledging that tomorrow you are going to behave better. But if you say, no, it's not me. Don't you see what he did? You expect me not to talk? You have already showed that you are not even, you don't think that you have done anything wrong. Tomorrow you do the worst. Number two, it's Socrates that said that an unexamined life is not worth living. An unexamined life is not worth living. Periodically do evaluation of your attitude. You know, have you ever called people to ask a question? Guy, what can you say about me? Not the friend that will tell you what you want to hear. The friend that will tell you the truth. Can you tell me, how do I behave? Do I behave well? What's my attitude? Have you ever done that? That's self-evaluation. Because if you do not check to know how you have been behaving, then you think that all is well with you. Number three, always have the desire for change. So when they tell you are not doing well, you do what? Accept it and work out to do something better. But if you are always believing that, oh, no, forget it. What do you know? What are you saying, sir? There's a problem. Number four, for you to be able to change your attitude, you must change what we call predominant thought pattern. In fact, although we disagree with some of these theories, but the law of attraction will tell you that what will happen to you have a nexus with your predominant thought pattern. What do you think about? You know what the Bible says? If there's anything that is lovely, if there's anything that is interesting, if there's anything that is worth, think on all these things. Number five, develop good habits. Do what? Develop good habits. You know why? There is a kind of connection between some of these things. There is a negative thoughts, there is a negative beliefs, there is a wrong decisions, there is a wrong actions, there is a continuation of actions, there is a bad habit. They are connected with each other. The question would be, which one comes first? Habit or thoughts? In my own mind, the first thing originates from your thought, from your mind. Negative thoughts would give rise to negative beliefs. Negative beliefs would give rise to wrong decisions. Wrong decision will give rise to what? Wrong actions. Wrong actions that are continuous in nature will produce bad habits. And bad habits, of course, when it continues again, will go a long way to produce more negative thoughts. Now, how can this shape in the personality you are? If you know what God has created you to do, it will go a long way to sharpen the kind of thinking that will be coming to mind. Let me give you an example. I've always said that the problem we have as a people is that most of the times we go to school to study without even knowing what we are created to do. Then when we now study and come out, we now start thinking what to do. But the truth is this: the first step is for you to determine your calling. When you determine your calling, you will do what? You now go to school to acquire the skills and knowledge that will enable you to implement or do what God wants you to do. But hey, how thoughts come in? Let's give an example. If I am called by God to work in the ministry, are you getting me? It will impact on my thought pattern. So what will I be thinking? How to win souls for God? How do I populate the kingdom of God? How do I make people to change and do something better? That will be the kind of thinking that is in my mind. If God calls me to be an engineer, what will I be thinking? How do I connect dots to be able to produce something that nobody has seen before? I think the most important thing in our lives is to start with God. When you start with God, it will enable you to be able to think better. And when you are thinking right, what will happen is that you'll be able to know that, look, good attitude is important. So by way of summary, before I take questions, what have we said? We have said what attitudes are or what attitude is. We have actually said that attitude is not everything, but attitude is one of the change maker. We have also said what attitude can help you do and what it cannot help you do. We have also said how do you cultivate good attitude. And finally, we have said that there's a connection between wrong thoughts, wrong decisions, wrong actions, and bad habits. Remember that everything, absolutely everything, God started with God, and in God they find their purpose. Thank you very much. I can take questions now. Okay.
Please, can we give another resounding applause to Edabide Chukwu? It appears most of us are tired, and I don't like the kind of response we are getting. Please, I want to say this. For me, I am happy for this kind of forum that the church have created. And this is the kind of forum that people pay a lot of money to get, because self-actualization is the key to everything you do in life. So many people that have missed it in life is because this word self-actualization, which attitude is what will drive you down there. Can we give another resounding applause to Edabide Chukwu and for the church for organizing this forum? Okay, let's stand up and sing this song. Please don't mind my voice. I don't have the voice of angel, but I like singing. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let's rise up, please. This little light. We are youth. Let's rise up. Youth are not people who adore themselves. Please, somebody should come and handle this and sing for me. This little light of mine.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of gold, I'm gonna let it shine everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine everywhere I go. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Amen. Amen. Please, I'm sensitive to your response, your facial expression, because I'm a teacher by profession. Are we together? Are we together? Yes. Now, once again, I want to thank Eda Udechukwu. The topic before us today, who am I, is a question. Is a question seeking for answer, individual answers. Myself, I'm asking myself such questions. I'm still finding my path. We are all path finders, even at this age. Do you agree with me? He said it's an identity question which is all encompassing of all our memories, experience, feelings, thoughts, relationship, character, value system of an individual. Do you agree with me? Yes, it's a question that is all encompassing. I'm going to take, Edechukwu has handled it from attitude point of view. I'm going to handle mine, is the team, from self-actualization point of view. And I'm not comfortable because those of us in the educational world, our research has been concluded that anything you hear, you are not putting down anything, you are not jotting down something, you are just gaining out of 100%, you will go home with maybe 20%. 80% may be lost. By leaving this door and you start interacting with somebody, you may lose 80%. So it's always good in a forum like this, we have something to put down. Because some of us that are here to talk to you, we have revolved over time through conferences, seminars, exposure, experiences, memories, and then some we got them easily and some are through hard time. So when some people stand to talk, like Udechukwu has said, we are not motivational speaker, please. I am not one. But when I talk, sometimes we talk out of experience and then out of facts that are already a set theories. And so the question before us today is a question that is all encompassing. It has to do with your memories, your experience, your thoughts, your feelings, relationship, character, and your value system. Now, another word for who I am is whom do I belong? A kind of where do I belong? Where do I stand right now? And I'm sure after this is not a congress, it's not a big retreat, but I'm sure if you set your mind to be teachable this afternoon, you will go home with something that will turn your life around. I know what I'm saying. And so this question is both simple and complex. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me? If I call some people out here now practically, because we are dealing practically, we are not projecting. I don't even like projecting. I only project when it's in a conference, symposium, or seminars. But when we need to talk to ourselves, we become practicals. We don't get materials and begin to project here and there. And so if I call few youths here now, I will be embarrassing some people. I ask you, who are you? I'm sure some of us, we are still trying to answer that question. And he said it's simple and complex because most individuals don't even understand themselves. They keep seeking for answers true validation, or seeking for answers that does not exist. Yes, all over the society we see people. True validation, how? Somebody, I'm sure most of us have done said, ask your friend, am I looking good? Somebody said, I need to tone up my skin. Somebody says, I need to fix my this, I need to fix some things in my body. I don't think I'm looking good. Validation. You are seeking validation. And so it's complex. You are handling a complex answer. You are seeking answer that does not exist. But the same Bible, here is a church. Everything I will do, I will bring it from the spiritual narrative. But the Bible said, I am beautifully and wonderfully what? Made. And yet you are seeking validation from your friend, from society. So many of us, the attitude, like Eda says, our attitude is because of what we see on social media. You see some people, some ladies or some content creators, they say, you will see them, they say, if you come to my page and say nonsense, I will block you, I block you, I block you. They don't want to take criticisms. They don't want to look at themselves because they are there to, they are monetize, make money and get out of it. I have one I follow. She will tell you if you come to my page, if you say anything she doesn't like, she will insult you up and down. You know, what do I mean? Seeking validation. Some of us, the life we are living now is what we see on social media. Some people, our role models, social media, aunties, brothers, and sisters. Not who God say you are. A song singer said, I am who God said what? I am. Are we together? Are we together? Youth, are we together? Okay. Now, you know, seeking self-fulfillment and actualization. This is because we are naturally the result of our past, present, and future experience. Past, I may not blame you for past. How? Some of us are born in some families or born some by parents, not by our choice. Nobody chooses where you will be giving birth to or the parents that will give birth to you. So to a certain level, you are not responsible for your past. But present, in as much as you are seeking life fulfillment, you are in charge of your what? Present and future right now. Every one of you, you are responsible. You are in charge. You will be in charge of. I used to tell my students where I work, I say, come, your parents brought you to these institutions and are paying so much because I know when you get to a certain stage, they are pulling 1 point something to pay. It is because they want to empower you to the kind of life you want to live. And if you're a Nigerian government cannot give you a good life. If you want water, you provide for yourself 24/7. You want light, you provide it for yourself. Sometimes if you want a good road, you have to provide it for yourself. So the kind of life you are picturing, that's fulfillment you want to get, lies in your hands. Do you agree with me now that you are responsible to your present and future life fulfillment, self-actualization? Now, how do you understand who you are? It's a big question, even to adults. Who am I? You cannot understand who you are if you don't believe in John chapter 15, verse 5. Please, somebody should read John 15, verse 5, please. I need somebody because I'll be bringing up some Bible. Mary, please give somebody a mic, a fast reader, John 15, verse 5. Self-actualization. Is anyone ready? Is anyone ready to read for us? Please, we need a standby reader. John 15, verse 5. Mm.
In him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing.
Without me, what?
You can do nothing.
Without me, you can do
Nothing.
nothing. You are in charge of your present and future. Sometimes those of us working in institution, you see some students very proud. They are very intelligent. And if you see it, the ego is already on their shoulders. And sometimes they get disappointed because of what we call overconfidence. They are undermining the fact of John 15 verse 5. Without God, we can do nothing. And so, because every human being is like makers of machines or some machineries, sophisticated ones for that matter. Every machine, some machines are easily operated. Some machines are highly sophisticated, just like some cars, automobiles. You will need to, consult the distributors, like cars like G-Wagon, Lamborghini, and all the big cars. You need to see the distributors, the real dealers in Nigeria to give you the manual, give you the engineers to tell you how to start what. That is how you and I are. If we want to understand ourselves, we cannot do without the maker. This is where I stand. If you want to understand yourself, you cannot do without the maker. Because in the book of John chapter 5, the Bible says, without me, you can do what? Nothing. It's an emphatic statement. Now, your spiritual person entails or sought to exploit the universe and the creator. Your spiritual person, spirituality, intends to exploit the universe. Some of us want to exploit the world. That is why you see somebody says, oh, it's my time. I'm still young. I want to enjoy my life. Allow me to do what? Enjoy my life. Youths have this quest and explorative spirit. Even those of us that study psychology, developmental growth, and adolescent transition. That is why so many parents don't understand what their children do and why they do it. Once they get to age 13, 14, they are highly sociable. They want to socialize. That is the time they want to start telling you, I want to attend my friend's birthday. They just want to. Sometimes you see them go out on the street, you begin to wonder, you are just going out, what are you looking for? They are looking for what? Where they can socialize. It's an unconscious thing going on with them. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go deep about it. So they want to exploit the universe. Some of them ask questions. Why am I here? How is this world formed? Have you been plunged into the feelings of so many things around you, confusion about things around you? There was a question I can never forget in my experience at work. A student, we were handling a particular topic under AYM, and the student said, ma, what if it's Satan that is right? Every time you people keep telling us, Jesus did this, Jesus did that. What if it's Satan that is right? If it's in the church, an elder will say, this child is possessed. Some elders will say, this child is possessed, or what is wrong with you? Or some parents will even give the child a slap. But when they ask this question, we know that something is wrong somewhere. It's like the child that said, I've watched that video clip. I've even watched it long before Arise brought it up. Where the child said, the auntie was asking him, what is your, he said, I like to kill. I want to kill. When I grow up, I will kill. Come and see the excitement in him. And his auntie said, will you kill me? He said, no, I will not kill you. If you see the excitement, you will know that that boy needs a therapist. So what do I mean? When children ask this question, they are not doing what is wrong. They need you to put them down, sit them down, and make them understand their self-actualization. Now, human being, youth, especially like you. You seek love, compassion, wisdom, and truth. Truth. If I sample this youth here now, if I sample this youth, you will see what is going on in their mind. And I wish Adventist is the right place. I wish what our parents is telling every time they be preaching, church, 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 church. That confusion is also in their mind. What is truth is in their mind. That is why parents, whatever your child tells you, especially when it has to do with spirituality, don't take it for granted. If you don't know what to answer, look for those. In the church, there are those with word of knowledge. It's a gift. They can pieces the Bible. The Holy Spirit will give them understanding. Edaje is one of them. Deeper meaning of the Bible. And that child will understand, say, hey, is that the position? You have gained something. So, qualities of self-actualization entails spirituality. What is spirituality? Meaning, value, transcendence. Transcendence is, the quest to understand physical things that are not what? Easy. And connecting oneself to God and your environment. Have you gone, maybe sometimes when people go to the Atlantic Ocean, they go there to just view how the sea is bouncing up and bouncing down. When you go there, you receive inspiration of God in such environment. You understand God better. And so, values. At the Youth Congress, we'll talk about value. Value are principles, standards set by an individual that will guide your behavior. Your behavior guided will produce what? Attitude. Attitude. See, sometimes my students will laugh. I said, sorry, I have two parts. My first degree was business education. Because of passion, I went back to Babcock to study counseling psychology. And with conferences and training and in fact, there was the one I went last year. Every year, you keep opening you to another version, It was done by American Healing Institute, Trauma Institute. That one has to do with when people are going through trauma of life, how to handle things. It's open another page. And so, for me, it has been a journey. And so, how we relate with our environment. Your standard, you have created principle, and your principle is your belief system. As an Adventist child, your belief system should be shaped by Adventist teaching. And I am telling you, most times, when I was confused by so many things that was going on in the church, I sat down, that is still self-actualization, and asked myself some critical questions. That if I leave this church now, where am I running to? Am I running to a lighter, a greater light, or a lesser light I left? When the Holy Spirit helped me to answer that question, I pick up myself together, I move to the right direction. Self-actualization. Spirituality cannot be overemphasized when you are talking about self-actualization and knowing who you are. Are we together? Are we together? How you connect to God determine how you connect to your environment. Today, do you know Nigeria is an environment of hopelessness? Am I speaking somebody's mind? If I sample the mind of this youth here too, as a Nigerian, I'm not talking as a citizen of UK or, of course, let me tell you the truth. Let's be factual here and blunt. It's not everybody that have the opportunity of traveling out. It's not everybody. And so, as a Nigerian, there is this fear in our environment. There is this question, where do I go from here? Especially for the youth. If you look at all the nonsense going on in our society, the leaders and all the rubbish they are doing, it paints a picture. If I have to give you an imaginary picture of Nigeria, is a picture, an imaginary picture of hopelessness. But still, as a Nigerian, here, we are still here. So most of us have not left. And those who, by the will of God, there are still those, if you have all the money, you may go to embassy. I have a friend like that. They will not give you visa for the next 10 years. You begin to ask yourself, you pray all the prayer. It may be God's will. Stay here and fix. Each one of us has part we can play in this country. Yes. And so, how you connect to God will determine how you connect to your environment. What is your environment? Your family circle is your environment. Your school is your environment. Your place of work is your environment. And the larger word, I hate somebody coming up and say, I will change Nigeria. It's an unrealistic statement. If Mrs. Nwachukwu wants to change Nigeria, I'll first of all change my family, change myself. Amen. So let's look at self-actualization. Your spiritual talent must be what? Harnessed. Now let me move to harnessing my potentials, because I've been given a sign. How do we harness our potentials? How do we harness our potentials? Some gifts, some of you, God has given you innate gifts, potentials that is untapped. Some of you here can sing very well, can teach very well, can do so many things, but you are not what? Harnessing them. How do you harness your potentials? How do you actualize your what? God-given potentials? Live by your values, your good values. Be gratitude to God for everything God has given you right now. That is why people in the Pentecost, they used to say, Eshe nibite tibere, Eshe nibite bade, Adupa o Jesu, nibite mumilo. You have to be grateful to God where you are. Look back where you're coming from. Be grateful to God where you are. Then thank God for where what He has taken you to. Then thank God for the future you are trusting God for. Discover your purpose in life. I am telling you, discovering our purpose is who I am. That is why we have many area boys, Miss Krantz. And that's why we have many youth too in Adventist church. They are in the church, but they are lost. What you are doing now is that the purpose why God has created everybody for a purpose. If you are achieving positive purpose, then you are falling in line. If you are masturbating, you are a lady, you are changing from one man to another, either secretly or openly. Ask yourself a question, is that the purpose why I'm created? Obviously not. If you have graduated, at this point, you cannot make money, you cannot do anything, then look at yourself, something is wrong somewhere. Nigeria is beginning to move from the position that, oh, when I finish school now, I'll go and look for a job. We are leaving that position. That's what is making countries like China great. Now we are in the position where every young person, like Edude Chukwu says, that's what my office handles. Even before students will write WAEC, subject combination, everything, I ask them over and over again, I have chats. Please, what do you want to study? And my mommy said, invite your mommy, I want to see them. Please bring them and let's sit down and talk. You see parents forcing the children, and that's where crisis of life starts. When the child cannot actualize it, when the child cannot live a 15 life, he's out of the university. Confusion everywhere. You see that child beginning to live the life that God never planned for that child. He's the type of lady that what? Think that a man will be the one giving her money to make hair, buy creams, and do all other things. Or a lady that will take the position, I just have to marry. When I get married now, my problems will be solved. That is absolutely rubbish. You are already getting married because you are a valuable material that want to add value to the person that is coming. He has his own value, I have mine. Putting them together will live a realistic and achievable life. The next one is set your goals, acquire skills. This time, acquire skills as much as possible. If you can sew, go to fashion school, learn tech, learn so many things. so that at the end of the day, put them together, job or no job, you are where God wants you to be. Do not always take shortcuts to life. That's why we see Yahoo boys and Yahoo girls. That's why we see people who will take bribery. That's why we see people who feel, I will sleep with a lecturer and get the mark I want. Do not go in the line of taking shortcuts to life, to success. Exercise patience. There is dignity in labor. Young people today don't want to leave university and start with a job of 50,000. I am telling you, when I started my job with Babcock University, my salary was 25,000. But when I see what my take home is today, I refer to this. I am happy. I give God the glory. What if I have quit and say 25,000 from where to where? Be patient. You will grow like a mustard seed. If you are diligent, you will eat with kings. And so, let go of bitterness. Some of us, the position we take is that, oh, my parents are poor. My parents can't do this. My parents can't do that. We keep blaming everybody down the line. They are not in charge of your what? Your destiny. You are in charge. They may have made their mistake. If parents are the sole determinant of their children's future, the children of Abiola today will not become poor. Now, let me read this for us. Life is better when you are happy, but life is at its best when others are happy because of you. Be fruitful in touching others. And you can only be fruitful in touching others when you live a life that you know who you are. When you know who you are, there is no peer pressure because already you know the direction you are moving towards. And you have taken steps to achieve your set goals. Set meaningful goals. Not within a short time, I want to build a house, I want to do this. Be patient and God will take you there. May the Lord bless us in Jesus' name. I would have loved us, please, if you can give me a few minutes. There is a video clip I would have loved them to watch. Please, ICT, somebody there? Please. I would have loved them to watch that video. That video is a young Kenyan girl, 10 years old. She has authored 3 books. But despite the book she authored, there is some statement this girl made I want you to listen to. That's when you will understand the power of self-actualization. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, while we are waiting for ICT to give us the video clip, we just had 2 beautiful presentations now. The exposition, the first one was on what? On attitude. Then this last one is on what? On self-realization. After the video, we are going to ask any type of question that you want to ask. Things that you don't understand and the things that will also help you. Don't just ask because others are asking, but ask reasonable questions that will build you up in the youth ministry and in life as well, because you are a leader. You are not just a leader only in the youth ministry, you are also a leader in your environment. So everything that revolves around you, you are to lead out. ICT, we are waiting. They're taking more of our time. All right, this is question time. From Edaudechuku is still here. From attitude and to self-realization, anyone you want to ask, please identify the section that you want to ask the question from. All right, the time is now. Ask questions because all that she said will be written down in the questions that will be asked to you. So you better ask now so that you will get the answers for tomorrow. Any questions? For attitude, attitude is not everything, but attitude is one of the what? The game changers. Attitude helps you, but it is not everything. And attitude can never take the place of experience or the place of skill or competence. But attitude is great. So ask questions that you want to ask, please.
I know that most of what we have said are practical life application procedures. It has helped most of us. And I'm sure what should be going on in your mind now, how do I, change my position, my attitude over certain things? And if these things are becoming too difficult for you to unravel, you can see some of us. They are practical things. They are not something to make you excited. They are something to make you think of the next step and what to do. And if you don't know the next step, we are here for you. This is God's house. This is our greatest place of, we can offer whatever God has, already put in us. But when we go out there, we can cost people, but in God's vineyard, we are always ready. It is the little we can contribute to the work of God. So if you have questions or things you feel you can meet us personally, we'll be readily available for you.
Any question? Okay, question is called. All right, thank you very much. Let's put our hands together once again. Let's clap hands for the presenter. Please clap your hands. Please clap your hands. Clap your hands. You're just clapping 100 naira clap. I say, please clap your hands. Because if this program is scheduled outside, it is not a 20,000 naira registration fee. Only the topic on self-actualization. It's worth so much money. And so because you're here, this is why it is good to be an Adventist youth. In the youth ministry, we have everything and we gain everything. Only if you wish to join the trip, then you will gain it. So may the Lord bless you. We thank you so much. There is no question now. I know that we have the questions, but maybe you might be shy somehow to ask the questions openly. But in a Nicodemus way, we will come and meet you in case anyone has a challenge. God bless you, man. All right, the next step is we have our boss himself, who is a father to the youth ministry, the chaplain, who also happens to be the head elder of the church, and also he is a master guide. And he is right here at this moment to take us on a greater topic that is captioned outreach. Ladies and gentlemen, in a clapping ovation, I want us to welcome Elder Master Guide Ajay Anthony. Please put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for him. Put your hands together for him. Good one. Welcome, sir.
Okay, I just want us to see ourselves as evangelists. Having gone through these two lectures, we should see ourselves as evangelists. Maybe I share my experience with us. We're talking about who am I, isn't it? So the earlier you discover who you are, the better for you. Now, I always tell people that after my school, I never wrote application. All the jobs I've gotten, I've never written application. I don't know why God did it that way, but I've never written application, but I get jobs. They just come, we talk. After talk, start work. It has been like that with me. All this while. But on a second thought, I find out that God is calling me for a different thing. After my baptism, I like sharing this with people so you understand that will make you to appreciate the topic. The earlier you discover where God wants you to be, the better for you. It might not be what you want, it may not be what you need, but that's where God wants you, because he's the one that sees ahead of us. So he wants you to be in a particular place. So I got baptized 1988, very 4th October. I don't forget that date. 4th October 1988. 2 days later, I was taking a trance, a newborn baby in the church, taking a trance, sleeping. And I just saw a man with white cloth, up, down, shining, took me to the back of a curtain. You know, those of us who go to boarding school then, they always have a stage where they do drama. So they open the curtain and you see the actors. So he brought me to that stage and took me through to a podium. And people were seated and he told me to talk. So I started speaking. I woke up in the morning. I said, I don't understand. I said, God, if it is a message, I want this repeated again. Being a new person in the faith, right? If it is from you, let it repeat again. The next day, I slept. No plus, no minus, the same thing. I now knew that there's problem, but there's something God wants me to do, right? And that year, that was in Port Harcourt. That year, Drumukurushi Church, those of us who know Port Harcourt, Drumukurushi Church is on the express, about Port Harcourt Expressway. So that year, October, right? October 4th, 1988, and January, I was a superintendent. How many months? I was already a superintendent in the new church, somebody who is just baptized. I was already a superintendent, the next assistant superintendent. And so since then, from there, from one church to another, and I've been in the church by God's grace. But where I want us to look at now is, all of us here are called to do different things in the church, and we're going to discover that today. We're going to discover that today. You know, we're going to, remember I said you are going to discover your spiritual gift, right? We're going to do it. You know your spiritual gift so that you don't say, I don't know what I can do better. You know your spiritual gift by God's grace today. You know where you fall in. Now, all this while in Port Harcourt, worship, go to 1997. 1997, I went to Jos on a meet. I went for a meeting. Fortunately, my company where I work then has a branch in Port Harcourt, in Jos as well. So, but where I work in Port Harcourt does not require me to go to that side. So when I got to Seventh-day Adventist Church, Bukuru, the expressway, the church headquarters, please tap that sister sleeping. When we got to that place, I was pointed to the church. You are coming to Jos. 1997, you are coming to where? To Jos. The voice spoke, and it was like that. So, 1998, towards the end of the year, my company said you are going to Jos. I don't know whether you're getting it. You are going to Jos. I said, so what am I going to do in Jos? That I cannot tell. So, the day I was to leave, 3 of our elders who were serving with me that year, they came to visit me, to pray with me, because it was a night bus I was to take to Jos. So they came and prayed. As they were praying, God showed me the church I was to worship. I saw the church by the side of a railway, uncompleted building. He said, this is where you are going to worship. So when I got to Jos, I was looking for where to worship. I've not been to the place before. So I was in the company's guest house. So the pastor that day I was looking for where to worship. So I went to Bukuru Church, the headquarters church. Then the pastor there now took me to town, Just Township Church, then number 1 and number 2. You will not say, what has this got to do with evangelism? The topic we are talking about is what I'm telling you now. So let's do the practical. I'm telling you the practical aspect of it now. Who am I? Now, when the pastor now took me to the 2 churches in the town, in case I have house, these are the 2 places you worship. I was not convinced because I was shown where to worship. And it's not as beautiful as these places. But when we are passing through that express, the pastor mentioned that there's one church inside there, very close to the railway. He told me, but we just passed. Now, that year, my family has joined me. We are now going to church. One morning, they were doing sanitation. So we saw 2 of our sisters with our pamphlet for that quarter. They were also going to church. I think they are from Imo State. They are going to church. So I said, come, are you serving that? When they say, yes, where? They said the church is just by the railway. So we moved. Immediately I cited the place exactly the way it was shown to me. Exactly. Very close to the railways. So when I got there, we started worshiping. So it was later on, we got to know that that church had issue. They had issues. That is, the issue there is that the independent ministry went there and polluted the place with a lot of heresy. You see, evangelism can be in different, outreach can be in different form. It might not be just outreach just to go out and preach for people. There are outreach also going on in our churches by members. So when we got to that place, I now got to know the enormous task. It's like bringing back that church together because there were already a lot of divisions. So do you know what happened? We got to that place. The next year, I was made the leader of that church. It was not yet an organized church. So I was made the leader of that church. Then we started rebuilding. That was when I got to know exactly the mission God wanted me to do. So we started rebuilding the church. Then peace returned. Things started working out. By 2004, the church was formally organized as a full-fledged church. From there, I left to another place. Where we left now before we came back, we also planted a church there and organized in 2009. Now, 2009, we had a meeting. We had a meeting here. I was assistant youth director in charge of Pathfinders in Northeast Conference then. So with my director, we came for a meeting. If you can remember, we had 2, by then the conferences were still together, the union were still together, apart from East that have gone. The North and the West were still together. So we had a Pathfinder program. If you can remember the Pathfinder program that took place at Delta State, right? A joint one for the whole West. Then the whole North had 1, 2, where Pastor Oyinloye was still the union director. If you can remember, Israel Oyinloye. All right, fine. So we came for that meeting. I was here. This church was not yet completed. It was still a skeleton, but they worshipped here that day. And we slept there. Pastor Majalobe stays now. That's where we slept because it was still a guest house then. So we slept there. All of us that came, we slept in that house. 3 rooms were there. We slept in one of the rooms. So while we were there, the same voice came to me. You are coming to Ogba Church. I want us to understand who am I, right? When the earlier you start understanding what God wants you to do in life, the better. He said, you are coming to Ogba Church. 2009, right? That was when we were worshiping here and that voice came. You are coming to this place to worship. So by 2017, 2009, how many years? Yeah? No, from 2017 to 8 years. 2009, it's 8 years. Now, by 2017, the company said I'm coming to Lagos. I don't know whether we are getting it. After 8 years, you are coming to Lagos. And you know where I got house? I don't know about church because that's the first time I just came. So, but when I was looking for accommodation, eventually, I got accommodation close to this place. I didn't know. I started looking for where to worship. Eventually, I found myself that this is the church. I saw Iju church and I saw Ogba church, but I don't really know where is where. So I started trekking just to find where is closer. Fortunately, I stumbled into this. I stumbled, not that I just stumbled into this place. That was how I got to find myself here. So the point I'm making is God has placed every one of us for different purposes in life. For different purposes in life. The earlier you discover who you are, the better for us. So in outreach, that is the only thing God has given to us. The only thing God has asked us to do is evangelize. And evangelism are in different category. There are some of us who are still doing evangelism inside the church. There are those who are doing outside. Remember, he said, go ye make disciples of me, teaching them. He said, after you baptize them, then do what? So there are those who are teaching in the church so that they can hold the souls. And while they are holding the souls, others now go out and be bringing. Others are holding the souls in the church. So evangelism does not end by bringing people in. There are still those who are still evangelizing while they are inside the church. So if we should know our purpose in life, why we should understand that it is outreach, completely outreach. That is why we exist. We exist for a mission. Our mission can be different. Let's take, for instance, our president, our federation president. Is a person who is ready to condone. Even when you see people who are doing the wrong thing, he said, please, let's do what? Let's allow them. He's ready to give out the last 10 naira he has to make sure that things will work well. Are we following? That is his own way God has given. He has discovered that, and you can't stop him. You can't stop him. That is the way. There are those who at midnight you call them, they will follow you. There are those who always link you to somebody who will help you. They don't have, but they will link you to somebody. These are the things, the mission. That is the various mission we have. You cannot say I don't have, but you can link somebody to who have, and the person, you have done your own work. It is a link from one person to another. We can do so. Our purpose is mission. Our purpose is mission. And so the earlier we understand that mission is why we are Seventh-day Adventists, and as Seventh-day Adventist youth, the better for us. We are to evangelize the world. God brought the Israelites as a nation to teach the surrounding nations the worship of the true God. Unfortunately, they failed. They didn't do it. And God is also telling us that there is nothing we can do without going out to preach the gospel, which is good news. One thing about us is that when you are going out for this good news, you must be happy. You must be happy because you are sharing a good news that nobody else will share apart from you. It does not deny the self-reality or sad reality, but it brings back to this sad reality the joy that hope produces in the hearts of those who believe in the good news of the gospel. When people has accepted what you have passed out there, the good news about salvation, it brings back the good news, and people will be happy that they have brought or they have gotten good news about it. So what are the objectives of this seminar? The objectives. We are going to look at different forms of evangelism I can key into. That is why I said that many of us here are those who have do friendship evangelism. Many of us are good in friendship evangelism. So it means my character must speak for me. What character did I possess or attitude do I possess that can, be able to convince a bad friend to become a good person? I need to possess such things. It's very important that I should know. So we're going to look at that. Now, we're going to look at the different methods of evangelism. When the writer of Hebrews begins his epistle by talking about the various ways through which God has always sought to speak to human beings, he not only describes a form of God's action, but grounds a reality. In the transmission of the gospel message, there are diverse ways and means of transmitting the same message. So we're going to look at the methods. Number one method, relational or friendship evangelism. Relational or friendship evangelism. The second one, small groups. Small groups. The third, local community service projects. Local community service projects. Then the fourth, public proclamation, like the one we are having now at Ikorodu, Shimolo, and Obawole, possibly. These are public proclamation. So we have local community service projects, we have small groups, relational or friendship evangelism. These are the groups, type of different evangelism we have. So what is relational or friendship evangelism? This is the method that is most often used and with which most people will be more comfortable. It means it is something that I have a friend. Victor is my friend. He's not a Seventh-day Adventist, but each time we move together. Now, what I do as a Seventh-day Adventist is to put up those best character in order to win him. If he's doing something, they say, boy, this thing you are doing not good though. He say, what did I do? What did I do? He said, no, this is not good now. God is not happy with us. You try to see how to win him to your side. That is friendship. And when he's going to do the wrong thing, I say, boy, can we drink? Can we take a bottle of beer? He say, yourself, how they take up now. You are not going to go to his side, but you are trying to let him know that certain things he does are not really good for you. And when they start respecting you, started seeing that you don't live these lives, they start giving you that respect. And before you know, boy, we that will follow you go at your church self. People are saying this is your church. You get a CB, make we go together. Are you following? That is friendship. You are beginning, your friendship is not for you to fall on the side, but for you to get him to your side. Friendship evangelism. We can do that. Your youth already have friends. Help them learn to see that when they act in loving ways towards their friends, they are doing the work of God. So when they do things that are normal, they are doing the work of God. You see where your friends have problems, that they have challenge, you help them to address those. What are the small group? Small groups on a little more formal basis. All youth organizations should also have small groups which get together to sing, study the Bible, pray, and share stories. We have many excellent resources for how to begin and carry on small group ministries. I know in the earlier days of my Seventh-day Adventist church as member, we have youth quartets. Youth quartets, and only later will be able to understand this. In those younger days, we have youth quartets. What they do, they sing from home to homes. And when they sing from home to homes, people, you see the compound people, when they hear this melodious voice, you see them getting attracted to these young boys who are singing. That is one other way. So these small groups sing. Some other small group go to help to do some other things, cures in homes, which we call today as Buba jobs. But these are small groups who are involved in administering the message of God in different ways. So we can do it in different ways. It might be through singing. It might be through preaching the word. We can go for small groups. And when you have these numerous friends, which you have been studying, moving about, going about with, any day you have evangelism, open air, you can easily bring them in and say, my friend, we get program for church. Can you join me? Because already you have created friends with them. You have made friends with them. So it's easier to say, let's go. And they will just follow you because they are no longer new to you. So they become people, will be the first people to invite when you have a program. What are the local community service projects? The priority area for the Ministry of Youth is the community. Yeah, last time we went to a barrier here. Those of us who went with us on a medical, just at the gate there, who can testify what happened just at the gate for that community? We spent just 2 hours, right? I mean, of us went 2 hours. We spent 2 hours for that community service. I mean, who can remember how many people that we saw that day that was both blood pressure, sugar level? How many? Those of us who were there, just between 2 hours. How many people did we see? Huh? Is it 100 persons within 2 hours for that community we did there at the gate when master guys were having program? I don't know whether you can understand. 100 persons within 2 hours. Community service within 2 hours. 100 persons attended, and they were so happy. When we even had this medical evangelism, we know the number of people that were. So these are the community. When you do communities, people tend to, because you are using Christ's method, you show them compassion, and they said, follow me. And they follow him. They follow him. So that is community service projects. That is another way of evangelizing. Youth must be taught, by example, that every church has a special responsibility to its community. The Jerusalem of every young person is the place where he lives. The school where she studies. It is his university, her work environment. So anywhere you find yourself is your community. That is where you start. That is your Jerusalem. That's your Jerusalem. Jesus told his disciples, first you start from Jerusalem, then Judea, then utmost part of the earth. So wherever you find yourself, that is your own Jerusalem. You start from there. While you are in school, your workplace, these are your Jerusalem. You do that. If the ideas of youth ministry, we can clearly perceive this broad and inclusive vision of the mission, driven by the love of Christ. The target challenges me to preach the Advent message to the whole world in my generation. Everyone means everyone, by committing myself in the vow to take part in the youth ministry of the local church. That cannot happen if I don't take part in the work of the local church. You know, last time we had adventurers program. Unfortunately, most of our leaders who were inducted the previous night, we didn't see them. You are here to help to bring up these younger ones. You must not be a master guide for you to join in handling the youth ministry. That is why, part of why this training is organized, so that you have a job to do with these young ones. We are training you, train ourselves, so that we can be better equipped to train the younger ones. And when Christ will come, we'll all be happy. In the purpose, I am reminded that I exist for the youth, the church, and my fellow human. In the objectives, I understood that I exist to save from sin and guide in service. In the mission statement, I am urged to work for the young, fostering young fellowship and spiritual motivation, empowering them to serve the church and the community. So these are some of the jobs I'm supposed to do. Then what of public proclamation? Here we come to the thing that most people first think of when they hear the word evangelism. It is an important part of our mission to the world. And some of your young people will be interested. That some of us young people will be interested and gifted in the ways they need to be to help with public proclamation. You know, we have seen it. We have seen the need as youth, because Jesus Christ and the white people say that the young people will finish the work. The young people will finish the work. If we keep waiting for our pastors, waiting for our elders, we will be disappointed. Are you following this? If we wait for our pastors, wait for our elders, we will be disappointed. So the earlier we take the bull by the horn, unfortunately, you cannot hold the bull by his horn, all right? It will throw you away, but that is just an adage. We take the bull by the horn and go out there to preach. This our marching, our band, our uniform is an attractive instrument to go out there and preach the gospel. I'm telling you that if the youth go out, man the podium every evening with our uniform, you will see many young people turning their back to come and worship God. And I think we are going to do that. We are beginning to think that even at the yak level, we need to take evangelism very serious, because there is no more time. There's no more time. God is waiting for us as young people to stand up and go out and preach the gospel. When members of your youth ministry has already been active in being true friends to those they know, meeting and praying in small groups and inviting others to join in, and doing visible community service that matters simply because they are in need and is the right thing to do, then many more will in fact be interested in the public meetings. We'll start planning evangelism. You know, the program that is going on now at the youth level at the conference, we plan that at least each federation should have at least 2 speaking centers to join the one that is already on, to complement the one we already have. Because unfortunately, the time was so short, so we didn't plan to have evangelism. If not, we would have at least two centers in addition to the ones going on. But I think by God's grace, we are putting it forward to plan it very well. People trained. We have master guides. We have good speakers who will be trained, and we'll have very good outing by God's grace next year as youth. We are not going to involve anybody, but the youth ministry will go out and preach. Public evangelism will preach. We'll preach. Because that is what the assignment God has given to us. And we are going to do it. So we are going to understand the diversity. Every method, every form, every way of evangelizing should be taught in such a way that the young enjoy it. We are going to make it in a way that is simple. People will enjoy going out to preach. Remember, gospel is something happy for those who speak as well as for those who listen. Therefore, evangelization must take place in such a context that the youth appreciate. So we'll simplify it, make it very simple so that every one of us can like to go out for evangelism. It is especially important that each young person is being carefully led to discover and use his or her own special gifts. And that is why we are going to know our gifts today. I know my own already. I know my gifts because I've done my own. So I know where I fall in. Fortunately, I have 6 gifts. From the exercise we are going to do now, you will know how many gifts you have. We have 3 primaries, we have 3 secondary. But fortunately for me, 5 out of the 6 I have the same point. So I don't have primary, I don't have secondary. You will know your own today. So I can use it for the ministry. It's for you and you alone. We're all going to know our spiritual gifts. Because only when you know your spiritual gift, you cannot channel it. And when we have evangelism, we know where to place you, where you're going to walk. It's going to help us today. The discovery of spiritual gifts will help to connect the young people to the type of evangelism they are comfortable with. So part of our training today is to know the type of evangelism you can be comfortable with. Is it small group? Is it the open air? Your spiritual gift will be able to let you to know today. The most effective way for evangelism to happen is for the young person to fulfill his mission in the context of exercising his spiritual gift. Remember, who am I? Your spiritual gift will help you to know who you are. In the house of God, you'll be able to know what you can do. Because many of us will say, I don't know my gift. There are traits you have, you know, but you cannot say this is what it is. But today, God is going to help you to understand it more. It is therefore the duty of the youth leader to guide the process of discovering the spiritual gifts of their youth. And that's what we are going to do today. This is evangelizing. Happy it will be more effective. Happy they will feel more fulfilled. Happy they will be more creative in finding ways and means to bless their community with the reality of a transforming gospel. Try it. Instead of you alone wanting to determine the form and manner in which your young people should evangelize, dialogue with them. We are to dialogue about the possible ways and means how we should be like to see it done. We cannot say, we are going to, you must do it like this because I'm the youth leader. It must be done this way. No. Everybody bring what you have. What gift do you have? Okay, if you have this gift, come this way. If you have this gift, come this way. Then at the end, we put ourselves together. We know where we are heading to. Ask what they like to do. Challenge them to think of new ways to do what needs to be done. Analyze together the reality of your local community. Help them realize every community is different. Communities are different, so their needs may be different. How you approach them may be different. It might be a community that they would like you to give them something, alms. As you are preaching, you are giving them something. You have to find out what type of community and what they like when you are going out for evangelism. If it's a community you go, you see children, their nose running. You see children with tunica that are torn, then you know that you need to give them clothes. That is the need. We need to discover all this. If evangelism is good news, what will be the good news in the context of this individual community? The people of the community have already tried the bad news of Satan. We are all victims of sin. Look for ways to transform the life of the community for better. What does the community need? We need to find out. The human being is reactive. By default, it reacts to the stimuli it receives. If one is simply criticized in his worldview, he will become defensive. So when you go out to evangelize, you are not letting them to know that they are sinners. You are letting them to know, the community to know that, yes, this is what sin has brought. And most of us are part of it. I am a victim. You are a victim. Share your life experience. You will be helping somebody in the community. When you share your life experience, you'll be helping somebody in the community where you find yourself. Now, if he feels loved, he will open his heart. Jesus left that example. Like Ellen White will say in the ministry of healing, Christ's method alone will give true success in reaching the people. The Savior mingled with men as one who desired their good. He showed his sympathy for them, ministered to their needs, and won their confidence. Then he bade them, follow me. When you have won the confidence of the people, they will say, follow me. It is the youth who will finish the work. That is what Ellen White is saying. It is the youth who will finish the work. We are the one to finish the work. And that is why we are preparing ourselves. Because next year, by God's grace, we are all going out. We are going to plan it from now, and we'll go out. We're already discussing it. Everybody's burden. All the youth, from the youth director till every one of us in YAC, we are worried about the state of the church and want to go out to preach. Want to go out to preach. And so, Ellen White say, the youth who will finish the work. That is why we need to work. It is the leader's responsibility and privilege to cultivate that passion and commitment. We have to have the passion for evangelism and commitment, while encouraging increasing levels of participation of each young person in the fulfillment of the mission in a holistic way. The word change, involvement in common experiences, is the most effective way to convey values and make them common. It is test drive of the gospel. First, try it, then want it for yourself. It works. If you don't practice, if you don't tell people about the good news about Christ, it is difficult for you to do it. It is difficult for you to do it. We have to be open to change. We should be open to change. Young are the best translations of the reality in which they are inserted. They are the best thermometer of this reality and can become an effective thermostat of the reality of a postmodern, realistic, pluralistic, individualistic, and pragmatic society. Ellen White said it accurately. The Lord appointed the youth to be his helping hand. Do you get that? The Lord appointed the youth to be his helping what? His helping hand. We are the helping hand of God in the ministry. Evangelize. Testimony Volume 3, page 104. The Lord appointed the youth to be his helping hand. We are the helping hand of God, and we just have to do that. We're supposed to have a small workshop. I don't think we have time to do that now, but I want us to go into the test of your spiritual gift, how you can determine your spiritual gift. I think we need to do that now. I think we have our cell phone, and we are going to that site now so that we can really get to know my spiritual gift. We are going to know our spiritual gift. I'm sure we have our cell phone. So we are going there direct. We have about 130 questions. 130 questions you are going to answer. Your answer, it is about who you are. The question is about who you are. And at the end, you calculate and we tell you where you fall in based on your own interaction. There are 4 questions. There are 4 options you take in the questions. I want us to go straight to that place. The site is youth.adventist.org. You have resources, then spiritual gifts assessment. Spiritual gifts assessment. youth.adventist.org / now / resources / spiritual gifts. Just type that, you just bring it out. Just type youth.adventist.org resources. Spiritual gift will come out. Then you just enter. Who have gotten it can help others. Who have gotten it? Yeah? You have gotten it. So help others, please. Go to Google. Now you go to Google, type youth.adventist.org. It will just bring it out. Then you see the option, resources / spiritual gifts assessment. Just help others. If you have seen your own, please. Who don't have a phone here? You can use my own. You don't have a phone. Eda. Which one you did now? Who can use my own? You see spiritual gifts assessment. Do you see it? Have you seen it? Spiritual gift assessment. Have you seen it? Huh? All right. Are we there? Are we there? Then you go down, you see where you say take the test. Go down, scroll down, you see take the test. What take from people you were out? Are you there already? It means you have to use this. We said we should have data. It is very there. We said it. Have your data, charge your phone. Are we there? As Adventist.org, you see spiritual gift assessment. That's where we are going. Spiritual gift assessment. Are you there? Take the test. Did you see it? Go to where it says take the test. You help. Please help. Take the test. Have you seen the place? When you enter, what does it show you? What does it show? Okay, let me just use this. Now you put your name. Have you seen your name? You put your name. When you say take the test, it will display, put your name. You put your name. If you have email, put your email. Put your name. Put your name. Put your email. Put your name. Put your email. You are going to do it yourself. The questions will be coming and you'll be answering. 130 questions. That's what we are going to do now. Have you put your name? Put your email. When you put, you send. Then if you go the next, you will tap. That is supposed to be your that is it now. That is it. Don't hold on, see it. After this, here, right? Come here. First after this. Now, if you put here, it is assumed it's going to display all the available spiritual gifts. Then you choose the one you think. That's on your own now. Just type that one that you have now. You think that's what your spiritual gift is. Once you tap it, then you continue. At the end, it will not tell you whether that one you think you have is correct or not. Because the questions will not be. So out of those ones that is being displayed, there is another, after you put your name, there's another field for you that is empty. Tap it. When you tap that, it will bring all the spiritual gifts you think. Then out of those spiritual gifts, which one do I fall in? You choose that one. Choose any of them. Choose any of them, assuming that is what you believe. That is one you are. Okay? When you tap it, It's okay. Then you tap here. Now, which out of this, which one do you think is your spiritual gift? You tap it. Once you tap it, you start answering the questions. It's about 130 questions. Just be each box you tap, each one you think is correct, tap it. Are we there? Are we there? Your phone is hanging. Restart it. Restart. Restart. Okay. Good. Somebody's already, yeah. Are you there already? So are we choosing the one? Are we choose? Did you choose which of them is your? Yes. Giving. You tap it, right? So continue. At the end, you will know whether giving is your. At the end of your answer, you will now know whether giving is part of your. If not, it will tell you what actually is. you.